Happy New Year! Let's start with something simple. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another recipe video. And today we are going to be making the creamiest scrambled eggs ever. Timestamps are down below if you want to skip the initial blah blah, but stick around if you want to join me in chatting about the recipe first. Now it is indeed the first video of the year and I thought what better way to start than with breakfast. And with a very simple one because I'm sure after all the celebrations people are probably feeling a little bit low, I know I am. Very much depends on the weather as well. Today as I'm filming this it is completely grey and it's been like this for a few days in a row now. So let's have something with loads of protein and loads of delicious fat, because my scrambled eggs have a lot of butter. In fact, it has 10 grams of butter per egg. I've made these scrambled eggs like this for as long as I've been making scrambled eggs practically, which would be about 20 years. Scary when I put it in those numbers, but it was always kind of like a dirty little secret because my method of scrambled eggs is very slapdash, very lazy, very simple, and I always thought if a pro chef ever saw it they would have a heart attack. It is a bit of an unconventional way, but a couple of years ago I was very lucky to be invited to a workshop run by the London branch of the brand Eggslut. They do very silky scrambled egg sandwiches and they invited me to promote a new menu item on Instagram for them, but also to learn about how to make their scrambled eggs as part of their promotion. And it turns out that my method isn't so silly after all because they use a very similar method. The two tricks are 1 starting with a cold pan and 2 cooking very slowly on a low heat, constantly stirring, and of course using a lot of butter. That's pretty much where the similarities end though. With Eggslut they actually crack their eggs straight into the pan, which is faster and has less washing up, which I'm very on board with. However, you do have to be more diligent with the heat. You have to start very low because you need to mix the eggs very thoroughly before they start cooking and congealing, otherwise you're going to have patches of egg white and egg yolk in your scrambles. So their method takes a little bit longer, and also probably obviously they use more ingredients like chives and onions and when they put the sandwich together. Mine is very simple, just 2 ingredients, eggs and butter, because let's face it, sometimes you just don't have the energy to make that sort of chefy stuff first thing in the morning. Now I said 2 ingredients, eggs and butter. Obviously I'm going to serve this with some toast because I'm not a savage. Having said that, in my lower moments I have been known to make scrambled eggs and just eat it straight out of a bowl with a spoon. Hey, if you're super low and it gets you fed with some sort of nutrition, it works. But today I'm feeling some sourdough toast. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. Just before we get cracking, apologies for the very lame joke, I'm going to preface by saying you can use any kind of uncooked chicken egg for this recipe. I do admit I like using fancy ones because like these free-range deep yolked ones do taste so much better. The yolks are so rich and creamy, but use any egg you like. Interestingly, one of the reasons why the egg yolks of these types of fancy eggs are so rich and yellow, almost orange, is because of what the chickens eat, and they have a really nice diet of lots of grains and vegetation. The colour comes from carotenoids. Now this is a very naturally occurring dye particle in many plants. In the case of chickens, they're eating maize, and maize has a lot of carotenoids in them. I noticed Clarence Court said they also feed their chicken marigold and a bit of paprika, along with lots of different grains and grass. And also carrots have a lot of carotenoids. They specifically have the beta-carotene carotenoid, which is what makes carrots orange. Same kind of particle. Anyway, chickens eat the carotenoid-rich grains and plants, and then produce these lovely richly coloured eggs. I just bought these Clarence Court ones because they happen to be on sale. I also really like Cackle Bean Farm eggs and St Hugh's eggs, all very nice. But yes, I usually only buy them when they are on sale because they are a little bit pricey. Like I said, you can use any kind of uncooked chicken egg. First we're going to beat some eggs. I'm going to crack 3 eggs into a bowl. And then I'm going to beat them thoroughly. All done. Now to our little frying pan here, I'm going to add 30 grams of slightly salted butter, and yep, I know that's a lot of butter. And while the pan is still cold, I'm going to pour the eggs straight in. And now we're going to switch the heat on to low to medium. And we're going to start stirring. The aim is to melt the butter just before the eggs start to cook. And we also don't want the eggs to cook too fast because then they'll seize up and they'll create big dry clumps. We want a smooth, silky scramble. As you can see, the butter is melting. With this method, you can actually turn the heat up a little bit, but as soon as you see any signs of the eggs cooking, turn it back down again, because again, we don't want it to overcook and cook too fast. The eggs are now steaming, so it won't be long. Right, as you can see, this is now turning. I'm going to turn the heat back down and keep stirring. At this stage, I'm actually going to turn the heat off. Some people like it like this, I like it a bit firmer, and I'm going to stir vigorously. And this is the consistency I like. I'm just going to pop this on some toast now. Well, that looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put some cracked black pepper on it. Doesn't actually need salt because I used slightly salted butter, but it's up to you. Give it a little taste first. Add salt if you want, but for me, this is perfect. And that's why I use salted instead of unsalted butter. Just instantly makes it rich. Absolutely gorgeous. These scrambles are so glossy and shiny because of all the fat we've put in them, but it's necessary, delicious fat. You know what, I'm going to take the hood off for a second because it's muffling my speaking and distracting me. It's a really effective cheap robe I got from Asda a few years ago. The hood is thick, and when I put it up, when I talk, for some reason I can't hear myself speak. Very thick. Anyway, let's take a bite. Cheers. Perfection. These are the best simple scrambled eggs you can make, I promise you. Nothing fancy, just really delicious, buttery, silky, creamy scrambled eggs. I do realise that's a lot of adjectives, but well deserved. Obviously feel free to make this a bigger breakfast. You can make this scrambled eggs a side of mushrooms. I don't know why mushrooms were the first one that I thought of. Bacon or smoked salmon, hash browns, grilled mushrooms if you must. I can't say they're one of my favourite English breakfast items, but sometimes they're just there. And of course, whatever type of bread for your taste you like. And it is genuinely first thing in the morning at the moment, so I'm going to take this away and enjoy my breakfast. So there you go, the creamiest scrambled eggs with just 2 ingredients. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. I always post something on a Wednesday and a little short on a Friday. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too, I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like it to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I'll see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. That was a rare savoury recipe for me. I'm sure next week I'll go back to sweet again.